Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Review. Can't wait to get started with today's podcast. It has been a long week. There's been a lot that's been happening over the past 5 days. Can't wait to share much of that with you on today's show. As you know, my Friday Review is my way of recapping the week, my way of bringing you the best of what's gone on in the private practice, what we have going on over at IHP, over at Equilibrium, talking about all the books that I've been reading or that I'm recommending this week. I've got a bunch for you today. Product reviews, research, you name it. So excited to dive right into today's show. There is much to talk about, but to start every Friday review, I always like to share with you what we have going on in the private practice, what we have going on over at Equilibrium Nutrition. So what I want to share with you is this, is that for a long time, people have been asking us, how do I know which lab I should run? Meaning, should I run the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, or should I run the stool and parasite-based test, right? The bacteria and parasite-based stool test. And so we're, of course, answering those questions every day at CabralSupportGroup.com, which is the Facebook group. We answer it through email, and we're happy to do that. Like, we absolutely are. But now what we are doing is we're giving people the opportunity to hop on a call for 20 minutes with one of our certified health coaches, the same health coaches that take you through the results whenever you run a lab through EquilibriumNutrition.com. So this is essentially a free call. There is a $49 charge for it that you get right back to purchase whatever lab you feel is best for you. So how does the lab work? Well, you speak with one of I personally trained these health coaches. So these are IHPs, and then they work directly under myself and our medical director, Dr. Jennifer, that many of you got to meet on the video that we did last week. So here's the nice thing. You sit down, you talk about what's ailing you, what different symptoms you're suffering from, what you might have dealt with in the past. Our health coach, again, specific integrative health practitioner, certified health coach, listens to your story. And then based on that, and based with all of the thousands and thousands of other people that we've worked with, very much like yourself, we give you our recommendation based on the big five, or let's say you can only run 2 labs, okay? We'll give you all of the labs in order of importance that we feel are best for you to run. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're offering to people. And then we're giving them the money back from that call. It's essentially a deposit. They get it back to either put towards a lab, or if they decide to use it towards a protocol instead, that's perfectly fine as well. So just a new service that people have been asking for quite some time. Well, now we have the team, we have the technology, we have a brand new app that we're developing, and it's already now for desktop version where we can put all of these files all in one place. You'll have all of your labs in one place. You'll have all of your personalized wellness plans in one place. So super excited about that. Many of those slots have already been taken, but of course now we're into a new month and we'll be booking up those. I believe we do 100 of those lab selection calls per month. To find out more about them, just go to EquilibriumNutrition.com. Simply click on that little health coaching tab at the top, and then click on lab selection call. Very simple, very straightforward, a lot, though, of data, and it's absolutely the best place to get started. Okay, so Mother's Day promo. Hopefully, we are celebrating our spouses, our wives, our moms, grandmothers, and as you most likely know, and as I hope that you know, coming up Sunday, May 10th is Mother's Day. And what we are doing is we always like to, really celebrate our moms. And over at Equilibrium Nutrition, what we're doing is we're offering the same bundle that we did last year. And this is our beauty bundle. This is our skincare bundle. This is a really nice one that gives everyone, but especially the mom in your life, 2 chocolate daily nutritional supports plus 1 advanced collagen support. We're taking $30 off that and get it for just $99. So that gives you a month's supply of our best-selling, most popular chocolate, daily nutritional support. Both the vanilla and chocolate are popular. This one's chocolate though, because, or who doesn't want some chocolate for any major holiday? And then also the advanced collagen support, which is just amazing for the hair, the skin, and the nails. So that's going on right now. EquilibriumNutrition.com. While supplies last, those bundles are available, and that is save $30 again while supplies last. Okay, next up, I have waited now almost 7 weeks to bring you this. Hopefully this week, the podcast has sounded a little bit in your headset, a little bit different, right? A little bit different, maybe playing through your speakers. I'm finally back in Boston with my regular microphone, a studio quality microphone, my Electro Voice RE20. A lot of people ask me, what microphone are you using? Well, before I was literally just using my Apple wired headset, and I plugged it in my computer. I gave you exactly what I was doing, and I was doing it on a voice note, a voice memo on the computer. And that is a far cry from the typical, it's small, it's easy to set up, it's easy to travel with. But, I have my Zoom recorder, I've got my Electro Voice microphone, I've got my microphone stand, I've got this XLR professional wiring set up. I just think that the sound quality matters. And so I've said it before, I apologize for that past 6-7 weeks. But I was away, I was away from my house. I was first in Australia. And then who thought that I was not going to then be able to really get back to Boston for about another month or so. So, I'm very fortunate, very grateful that my family was able to deal with this the best way that we could. And that we were very fortunate to be able to stay on the West Coast of the U.S. while the weather got a little warmer in Boston, because we're big believers in sunshine and health and vitamin D and all that good stuff, being outside and taking walks. And you can't really do that as much around the Boston area. And also Boston was hit as hard, if not harder, than almost any other city, save New York and a few others. So what I wanted to share with you is that I always try to do my best for you. I mean, I really do. And that includes audio quality, that includes editing, that includes trying to get the podcast up the same time every day. And if it wasn't for our current situation, I would be back in my Boston office. My office building is closed, and I would be doing video recordings that I planned on starting, believe it or not, in the first week of April. So the videos will have to wait, but the audio quality is back. I do hope that it does sound a little bit better than it did the last few weeks. And I hope now that you understand why I wasn't able to get that microphone. I actually went to a Walmart and I bought another microphone. It was I won't name the brand because it was not very good. We'll put it that way. I thought it sounded terrible, like I was in a fishbowl. So anyway, I'm back. The microphone's back. And to me, someone who loves doing what they do, I'm pretty excited about that. All right, couple other things to share with you today. I did a podcast just yesterday on the dangers of 5G. And I explained exactly why they were. A lot of that was taken from Dr. Joseph Mercolar's new book called EMF'd. I'm going to link that up today. So it's a book that will share with you a lot of the dangers of 5G, much of which that you will not ever see in the mainstream, and there will certainly never be anything like it, a Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, any of them. Again, I'm not biased to any one particular news station. They are all politically based one way or the other. I'm not big on politics, don't know too much about politics one way or the other, but I can tell you this, they're bought and paid for by advertising, etc. So what I like to do is I like to share with you people that care about people, and there's no doubt about it, Dr. Mercola cares about people. I was listening to him back before I was ever in functional medicine. I was a nutritionist. I was a strength and conditioning coach. I was a personal trainer way back in the late 90s, and found out about Dr. Mercola somewhere around 2000, 2001. And he's done great work. He's done great for the industry. He's in his mid-60s, and he is going stronger than ever. So I want to give him credit. EMF'd by Dr. Mercola. And then also, I kind of just glazed over this book, and I don't think I've ever recommended it to you before, but I read this a long time ago. This is at least 10 years ago. It's called The Body Electric, Electromagnetism and the Foundation of Life. I mean, it's definitely an approachable book. Robert Becker wrote this book, and I know it's gone through, I believe, 2 revisions. I believe, it's maybe just one, but it was now written, 20 years ago. It's amazing to say that that's been 20 years ago since it was published in 1998. So check this book out. It's very interesting. I know it was written over 20 years ago, but that does not discount the foundational principles that are involved in it and that are talked about, meaning how is it that acupuncture may work? How is it that PEMF mats, pulsed electromagnetic frequencies that I've spoken about before on a previous Friday review, how would they work? So it's about 320 pages, 340 pages or so, lots of citations, great book. You can definitely check that out as well, especially if you're interested into how electricity in the body allows for great health, robust health, or poor health. So definitely check that out. Okay. I'll link up everything today. You don't have to worry about all of it. It's all going to be at stephencabral.com/1554. stephencabral.com/1554. Okay, couple recommendations for you, some tech-based and some product-based. The first one is this. One website that a lot of natural health practitioners and a lot of people are recommending in terms of a search engine instead of Google is Brave. And I want you to check it out, okay? You can head over to brave.com. It will actually, so I didn't mean necessarily Google. I meant like Chrome, the Chrome browser and others. So you can actually use it as your browser. And you can download it at brave.com. And what it will allow you to do, it will enable you to keep your privacy. So even when you open up like an incognito window or anything like that, you're still being tracked. It just doesn't show it in your history. That's all. So what Brave will do is actually import a lot of your Chrome extensions, which I have. I have all sorts of Chrome extensions that I like Grammarly, because my spelling is atrocious sometimes. I have something called Playback Rate Controller, and it allows me to listen to videos at 2x and 3x, so I can get through audio and video a lot faster. I use one tab. So what Brave will do is actually bring those over for you. So that's really, really nice. But the biggest thing is really privacy. It's not going to follow what you're searching for and tag you to some specific list, have Google or Google Ads or Facebook or anything like that use your specific demographics for what you've been searching for, what you're looking for. And I think that's kind of important at times, like, right now is like what you search for very well may be used against you, because believe me, this data is being tracked, right? We know that for sure. Your data is being tracked. So you can check that out. Again, I have no stake in this company, but it's just Brave, BRAVE.com. And you can download that for your Windows or Mac-based computer. All right, next up, product recommendation. Someone told me inside of our IHP community about Go Wipes. And what they are fruit and veggie wipes to clean your fruit and veggies. And they do it without water. They do it without alcohol. So what is it? Well, they look like little cleansing wipes, basically, that you could use for your hands, for your face. They look like overall baby wipes that you would find. Very small packet. Let me see how many are in here. I'm holding them right in my hand right now. There's 20 wipes. So very small. You could throw them in your bag. And here are the ingredients. So I'll let you always decide what you feel is best for you and your family. They contain water. That's the first ingredient. Glycerin. So always keep in mind, when you read an ingredients list, it typically reads from first to last in terms of what the most ingredients in that product are. So I don't know if you knew that before, but typically the last ingredient is the smallest amount, the first ingredient is the largest amount. Okay, so water, biggest thing in the product, water, glycerin, grapefruit seed extract, lemon peel extract, sea salt, and citric acid, and they're alcohol-free. So let me tell you what each ingredient is. Water, well, being water, so we don't have to go too much in that. Glycerin can be used as a natural preservative. Glycerin can also be used as a cleaner as well. Grapefruit seed extract and lemon peel extract are two quite acidic, citrus-based extracts that enable you to clean and disinfect whatever you're using, whether it's on the surface of a table or fruit and veggies. Now, why is this important in one of your fruit and veggie wipes? Because water alone won't take the waxes off a lot of those, like let's say an apple. Now, of course, hopefully you're eating organic apples, but this will help to pull off whatever your fruit may be coated with. So it's more for things like apples and pears, because you're not going to be able to obviously clean berries or things like that, except running some water over it or doing what I talk about, which is the apple cider vinegar soak. Okay, sea salt in there balances the pH, can be used as a preservative as well. Citric acid being used as a preservative. The only thing I couldn't find out with this company is if the citric acid is GMO based. I couldn't find anything that said that it was. I don't usually have a huge issue with a little bit of citric acid because citric acid can be used, again, as a preservative. Citric acid can be derived from mold, or it can be derived from corn. It can be derived from a lot of different things. Every once in a while, we'll use citric acid as needed to keep a product preserved, but it will always be non-GMO. Equilibrium Nutrition has a commitment to non-GMO. I work with a chief scientist and formulator with our company. We work together on all formulations. We back it up with specific science, and our manufacturers know that we don't even recommend a product to us that's going to be genetically modified. So we would never do that. Again, I don't know about this company, but I don't believe that it is because they've gone to this extent to make it natural using grapefruit seed extract and lemon peel. But when would you use these? That's the thing. And I'll link it up today again at 1554 for today's episode. But this would be something that you take with you like apple picking, or you take these with you on an airplane, or take these with you for travel. So that's how we use them on our trips. So I picked up a pack of them, and simply put, I could grab something, and whether it was the best source or not the best source, I could at least clean it and make sure that that was more appropriate for myself and my daughters to eat. And the nice thing is too, even after you wipe it with one of these, you can also just run it underwater if you'd like to take any of the grapefruit seed extract or any of the citrus-based extracts off of it. Okay, so that is that. Again, I will link them up for you today. They're a very small company, so they'll probably be sold out maybe after we chat about that, but that's okay. Love promoting brands that are trying to do good work. That's the bottom line. And here's another one. This was actually recommended This was recommended by one of the health coaches on our team who worked with a client that has eczema. So we're helping this specific person to rebalance their gut, eliminate their food sensitivities, which they've done amazingly well. You'd be surprised at how many people their eczema are related to food-based sensitivities. They eliminate those food sensitivities. They do something like the CBO gut protocol. And as they say, voila, they're feeling much better, looking much better, and feeling healthy. But in the meantime, we have no problem with people using specific products for symptomatic relief. And one of those products that I just want to share with you today, all right, it's called OM Botanical. That's the name of the company. And let's see, OM Botanical, whole food for your skin, it's called Eczema and Psoriasis Treatment Cream. I don't even know how they get away with the word using treatment, since that obviously denotes treatment. And in natural health, you can't treat, cure, or diagnose any diseases, and psoriasis would definitely be considered that. So if I were them, I would be careful with that name. But anyway, there have been at least anecdotal evidence from people in our practice. Again, so for psoriasis and eczema, I can't recommend enough looking at your stress and gut-based issues, okay? Stress, gut-based issues, and absolutely detox. I talk about this in the rain barrel effect, but they're typically two different things. They're both skin rashes, but psoriasis typically a Th1 dominant immune issue, and eczema typically a Th2 dominant immune issue. We see eczema a lot with food sensitivities. Yes, of course, stress, but that goes along with most things. And we see Th1 dominance with psoriasis, typically from intestinal permeability, difficulty with digestion, and yes, absolutely stress. So, but the nice thing is you can work on those, but it's not immediately fixed, right? These things take approximately 6 to 12 weeks for the most part to rebalance the body and clear things up. So in the meantime, if there's a great cream that you can use that's all natural, well, that's okay. So I've recommended psoriasis and eczema-based creams in the past. This one's just a little bit different because this one contains colloidal oatmeal, and it also contains salicylic acid. Okay, what about these two that are a little bit different? Well, we know that oatmeal works exceptionally well. I've recommended oatmeal soap before for psoriasis and eczema, okay? Really nice in terms of calming the skin, calming the rash reaction, drying it up, helping with the healing process. Again, doesn't work on the inside, but it can work on the outside. Salicylic acid helps with removing dead skin, destroying a lot of the bacteria and other things on the skin itself as well. Okay, what else does it have in there besides those two main ingredients? Well, it has aloe vera, has shea butter, it has coconut, it has neem, it has willow bark, it has some zinc oxide, sarsaparilla, chamomile, comfrey, frankincense, dandelion, licorice, St. John's wort, clove essential oil, and vitamin E. And vitamin E, as we know, well, as I've said before, is a preservative for a lot of these products. Many of these are all organic. Some things you can't get organic. That's what I want people to know. You can't get organic zinc oxide. It's just not going to happen. And some of them are more wild. So sometimes we use herbs in our products and they're wild and they can't be certified organic because they're grown wildly. So you don't always know. If it's a good natural health-based company, there is a certain level of trust where you're saying these people are doing everything in their power to get things organic, to get them wild, to get them non-GMO, and that's what you have to do. This seems like a really great company. They're on Amazon. We'll certainly link that up. I don't know what the star rating is on this, but again, Amazon can be kind of dicey with competitors, sometimes giving you bad reviews. Believe it or not, that actually happens. There's very strange people out there in the world who would spend their days trying to knock down other companies by giving them negative reviews, but it does happen. And then, of course, sometimes people have a negative reaction, and for sure they put that up as well. That's okay. We can all kind of learn. So I'm going to link that up today. It's called Botanical Eczema and Psoriasis Treatment Cream. Don't use it as the only thing you do, but you can certainly use it as an adjunct. All right. Next up is our research, and just one research piece for you today because I went heavy on the product reviews. Just wanted to share this with you. Oh, actually, before that, people have been asking. On Wednesday, I talked about a YouTube video, a short YouTube video, 5 minutes long, and it tracked this man basically over the course of 12 months. And he went from 475 pounds, almost 500 pounds, to losing 200 pounds, down to about 175 pounds in just 12 months. It's absolutely amazing to see his body transform. And what I'm going to do today is embed that right at stevencabral.com/1554. And I'll probably embed it right over there as well on, let's see, I think I put it right at 552 as well. So hopefully that is helpful, and we'll link that up there. I want to give a shout out to that guy. I don't even have his name. I apologize, but you'll be able to check it out at the video. And then today's just quick research bit, just because I've been giving you so much over the course of this week. One more. Now, this came out just about a year ago. Yeah, well, actually 2 years ago now, looking at 2018, still not understanding it's 2020. So adults 60 and older who most closely followed the Mediterranean diet for an average of 4 years were 38%, I mean, that's pretty significant, 38% less likely to experience frailty, such as muscle weakness and fatigue, compared to those who followed it less closely. The main reason, the Mediterranean diet is rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory nutrients that help keep the muscles strong as we age. So just wanted to share with you a little bit more research right there. That was written up by Kelly Toops, who's a licensed dietitian, and an MLA, and the director of nutrition at Old Ways. So just wanted to share that with you. Again, there's so much great research out there. You're able to find it on your own for sure. And what I want to share with you is this. If your gut is imbalanced, eating fruit and vegetables can feel difficult. It can. You can feel bloated. You can end up with joint pain. You can end up with skin rashes, all sorts of issues. My highest recommendation to you is that you always work on the gut, that you begin to work on the gut first, even if there's stress, even if there's whatever. If there's an imbalance in the gut, it's always going to be causing inflammation and inflammatory reactions in the body. So please do yourself a favor, either run a gut testing based lab like the Candida metabolic and vitamins test, or the bacteria and parasite stool test, or the food sensitivity test, or all three. You can run them right at home. You can run them from equilibriumnutrition.com. You can run them with your local functional medicine practitioner, your local integrative health practitioner. Any way you can do it, figure out what's going on with your gut, begin to heal that, and then you can get back to eating all of those great high antioxidant foods, which to this day, we know are the ones that help to prevent cancer, that help to prevent heart disease, that help to prevent high blood pressure, that help to prevent type 2 diabetes. And if we can do that, well, we can do our best to assure ourselves to the best of our ability that we're going to live the longest and healthiest life we can. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk with you tomorrow on part 1 of our Cabral House Calls. Bye. I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stevencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.